what I'm recording this on is on a body camera which I've connected. It depends on what company you go through. You get an assortment of attachments, and depending on the company that you go through, you can get a suction cup to mount it in your car, so you can talk like this. I took this to Cumber House, and I actually used two of them with very good footage of night shot, and because they are used for security officers and police officers and that, it has a timestamp at the bottom, so if an incident took place, that timestamp would be at the bottom of the video. Which is a handy thing for paranormal investigating, because you can document the time that certain things happen, you know. But unlike the camcorders that I use, which have one LED light, this one's got three. It is a very small little device, but the batteries are built into the device itself, so you cannot take out batteries and recharge them. But having said that, the last time I used this on an investigation actually was the first time, and both of those cameras lasted 4 hours of constant use, which is very good. I will leave a link to that video where I done the investigation. I showed the camcorder footage first, but after I put out the investigation video, I actually put out the footage from the body cameras themselves, and in some places the footage, that the IR night vision footage, was brighter than that of the camcorder. So and actually I got enough footage to almost do a full investigation video from the body cameras alone. So you know, I have one in my pocket all the time, because you never know when I will take it out and mount it in the car like this and have a chat. But also handy if you're out and all of a sudden you decide you want to go to a place and you want to document it, and you don't have your camcorder with you, you know, and if you have this, it doesn't take up much space. You can hold it in your pocket like. The only downside to it is, if the camera is 6 or 8 feet away, it's very hard to pick up on what you're seeing. It's really designed for body mounting, but you know, situations like this in the car, it is you know, ideal. Sometimes you will see it glitching. It's because I have it on automatic mode, which means that when I go into a lit area, the camera will glitch and change over to ordinary recording rather than night vision. Also in it is a very powerful laser, and that laser points right in the middle of where you're actually recording, so it's a good kind of an indicator. or it's a good kind of a way of focusing your shots and centering your shots. It's pretty good. Also available on it is a voice recorder as well. So if you didn't need to use the camcorder function in it, you have the option of recording a conversation. And it is pretty discreet. It's smaller than a phone. It's pretty, But I bought the same product, but from two different companies, and one of those was a security company that specialized in tracking devices, and they had the internal memory built into the device. The other one didn't, but it runs off an SD card anyway. So both of them are the same, but there was a £100 difference in price. The one with the built-in 32 gig memory was £150. The other one was only £50. I only had spotted it after I bought the first one. So, but very, very good cameras. You could also, what I have done is, do you know those little wire mounts for your phone for selfie sticks? You can actually put one of those on it, and then you could put a mini tripod grip on the bottom of it, so you can carry it around like a little camcorder. There isn't a flip screen on it, that's the only thing. I tried looking for a body camera with a flip screen, but there was only one available, and it was second hand, where actually not the screen flipped, but actually the camera itself, and it was very, very expensive, second hand. So but I'm very happy with these, I really am happy with these. And as well as that, if you go into abandoned buildings, sometimes you may have antisocial behaviour which you haven't spotted at the time, and you walk in on it. You can keep yourself protected by having one of those cameras strapped onto your person, But looking forward to getting out on an investigation soon. I have been sick. I'm doing this video for my second channel, which is kind of like a spare channel for spare content, but my main channel is called Life After Life TV Productions, and that is over 2 years old, which at this moment in time 1,608 subscribers. So that is where most of my content is. If you want to have a look at some of those, it started off as an Abandoned Explorer channel. So if you go back over a year, you'll see some of the Abandoned Explorers without the paranormal research in them. And that the reason why I went to paranormal investigating is we had a couple of occasions where I had EVPs picked up on cameras on locations where I was being. So I wanted to look into that a lot more. And I have a history of ITC from way back when I was younger, and I left it. And over the last couple of years I've come back to it, and come back to a completely different world than way back when I was 16, 17. There was no research back then on scan frequencies. We were using single frequencies. We were also using noise generators, which I managed to pick up one. Very, very difficult to get, but I did buy one from a laboratory in the United Kingdom, and it was like buying a Morris Minor. It had the old grey switches and everything. So looking forward to getting that up and running and doing experiments with that. Have a new Tascam 4-track recorder for doing more audio recordings on locations and stuff like that, because that's one of the parts of evidence that I would like to concentrate on, is audio and visual. You know, that is where most of the evidence, most of your raw good evidence is going to come from. Yes, we have our REM pods and EMF detectors for measuring EMF fields, but that is basically to measure environmental readings and stuff, and as a tool for spiritual energy or paranormal energy to use as a tool if they can use it. But fundamentally, the most investment that's been done lately in equipment wise has been cameras and recorders. You know, yes, I have a load of the old classic recorders, which I'm no longer going to be using on investigations, because I want clear audio to work with. You know, I have two Panasonic QR80s, which are like the DR60, but old recorders like that with no USB means that, you know, you have a lot of hassle trying to transfer files, and as well as that, the quality to work with isn't very good, you know. And people may argue that the internal noise of a low-bit recorder is a frequency that the spirits might use. The other side of that is low-bit recording can be warped and wobbly and very, very hard to work with, and it's prone to pareidolia. So yes, there's the internal noise theory may make sense, but older researchers discovered that using external sound, like static of a radio station with no human voices on it, using that for EVP work is much more reliable and much more controllable, and that's what I'm going to be using rather than low bit recorders. Yes, we have those Olympus recorders that the YouTube ghost hunters use. I've got a few of those as well, but if I ever use those, it won't be on a low bit setting, because I've analysed some of the EVPs that I thought I had got, and it's just not reliable sound quality wise. You need as crisp and as best quality sound as you can possibly get, you know. So that's why I choose Tascam, or Zoom is another good company. So, but I use Tascam, and I have two recorders of Tascams. The DR05 is a good recorder, and you know, a couple of quid extra than your average Olympus, you know. But I just thought I would have a chat with you on the way home. But hopefully we'll get out an investigation soon. As I says before, my main channel is not this one. It's Life Afterlife TV Productions. I'll leave a link at the end of the video. We'll see you in the next one, folks.